Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are really excited to do a video today that we wish someone would have done before for us whenever we have been trying to figure out how to move to Germany, live here, and work here.
So our end goal was always to move to Europe. We've been wanting to do that for years now. And so while we've been traveling this past 9 months, we've both continued to send out feelers and apply for jobs online and just keep searching as we've gone. And so while we were in Greece, I found this job here in Ramstein and I applied online, was able to have 2 interviews over Skype, and then got hired for the job. So with that job, I now get a visa, and then Donnie gets to come over as a spouse under my visa.
Once you step off the plane in Germany and you go through customs, you're given a 3-month tourist visa in which you can stay in Germany as a tourist and you can figure out your housing, do your job search, and also get your visas. So that is the very first step. Step 1 is coming to your city or your location that you're wanting to go to and getting a house and then also registering it with the local rat house.
We think the word rat house, just a side note, is really funny because it sounds like something that Americans would call a government building. Like this is their town hall called the rat house, pronounced like Rathaus or something like that. But it just sounds like Americans making fun of the government.
A derogatory term for politicians, a bunch of rats, and that's their house.
Really what they call it, so.
But it's a very simple process. You just go into the rat house once you have found housing, and you'll go in there and just tell them, hey, I need to register my address. They'll give you a piece of paper that you take back to your management company or your landlord. They'll fill out very basic information. That's like their name, what your address is, who you are, etc. You'll go back to the rat house and then you will take that form and your passports. We also had to provide our marriage certificate from the US to prove that we are a married couple. And then you register. They'll ask you a few simple questions about like your religion or other such things, but it's all a very easy process. The important thing to know about this process, something that we didn't know before, is that's very strange and backwards, that you actually have to be here and live here and be registered as a resident before you can get a visa to actually work.
Which is so backwards from everywhere else that we looked. A lot of places that's illegal to be here on a tourist visa and looking for a job. That's not allowed. But here, that's the process. That's what you a lot of times do.
And so that's something that somebody like me really wish I would have known before we came here, because Aubrey's job, luckily for us, is a specialized job in which it's a medical field. We're also in an area with a lot of Americans, so they specifically needed an American speech pathologist to work here. And so she was able to find a job fairly easily. I do have a master's, but it's a MBA. And basically whenever I was sending out feelers from abroad, I wasn't getting any responses, essentially because they were saying, I mean, we can hire people with MBAs here. They're everywhere. We don't need someone specifically to come here. It's an expensive process for them to do that. So what you can do, and I have met a lot of people who are doing it, is just go ahead and take that leap of faith. If you really want to move and live in Germany, take that leap of faith and move to Germany wherever you want, whether it be a big city or a small village. Probably easier in a big city like this. Go there, find a place, register, and hunt as fast and as hard as you can to find a job. And it may be a lot easier and better if you can be here already and they just know this person can start right away because he already is registered as a resident.
The next step after registering as a resident is to look for a job. And so luckily I had already found my job and was already in contact with my boss. And so she was great to give me lots of contact information through the process. So I already was in touch with the visa people here in Germany and was emailing them and getting to know all the different paperwork that I needed to provide and start filling out. And so once we got here, we registered as a resident, we went to the visa office and I was able to give them a form that my boss and I both filled out, then another form that's just more about my job and who I am and just all my different information that they gave me that I easily filled out. And then they gave me my blue card, which I got a blue card, which is the equivalent of like the American green card, was actually based off of that is what we heard. And I was able to get that card because of my full-time employee status and my level of education. That's the visa type that they recommended for me.
The blue card was based off of an American green card. So if you're familiar with a green card, that's essentially what we have here. And once we got approved for that, it's going to allow us to stay here for 4 years. A lot of sources online said that it would allow you to stay for 3 years, and that's what we anticipated. But once we actually got the form, it does say 4 years.
Yeah.
we don't know how long we'll actually be here, but it's really great that it allows us to have that kind of flexibility where we can stay for 4 years and then we can extend it beyond that as well. And then that also allows us to move to other EU countries if we ever felt the desire to. But right now, Germany is really where we want to be. And so we're really excited to actually have that opportunity. Once Aubrey did receive that visa though, at the office, that allowed her to work immediately that day. We're not sure if it always works like that because we had heard rumors that it could take a couple of weeks, a couple of days, but literally as we were walking out of the visa office, Aubrey was legally allowed to work. And so she was able to go right to the office and start. The next part of the process is also really, really important to finishing getting settled in Germany is receiving your TIN number, or it's your tax identification number. It's kind of the equivalent of a social security number in the United States. That number is really important because that is what allows you to do the rest of the process that you have to do to get settled here in Germany.
So after we got our TIN numbers, then we were able to go to the insurance office and register for insurance. And again, that whole process was a little simpler for us because my boss helped walk us through that entire thing and was with us the whole time.
And then, of course, once you're working, you also are going to have to get paid. And also your rent's going to have to get paid. And you also want to get a phone plan that's going to have to be paid. All of those things are going to have to be done with a German bank account. And so you cannot actually apply for a German bank account until you have a TIN. So that is the next step, is to go and set up a bank account. There's all kinds of different banks that are available to you. There's online banks, there are regional banks, there are big national banks. That's a whole subject for another video, but you go set up your bank account with your TIN numbers, and then you can get that set up, once again, the next parts to the puzzle.
And then after you get a bank account, you can get a phone plan. And so that is our next step, is to say goodbye to our American numbers and move over to a German phone.
Whenever we started this whole process, it seemed like an extremely daunting process, but once we've actually done it, and that's why we're making this video, is to try to express to you that it is not nearly as daunting as you initially think it's going to be. You really can't move down the line of steps until you've done the previous step, which makes it nice that you don't have all of these things you got to do all at once. Starting with the very first step, you just move here, find a place to live, and register at the rat house. Second, find a job. Third, go get your visa. Fourth, get your insurance and your bank account. Fifth, get a phone plan and go from there. There's gonna be little things along the way, like Wi-Fi and getting cable if you want.
But those are things you need to do anywhere that you move.
Yeah.
But these are the specifics for Germany that we found.
The thing really to do is just, I think, move here, get here, and once you're here, there'll be a whole big assortment of people that are willing to help you and get established and get set up here. And once you have your visa and your job, you're pretty much good to go.
So the process for us has not been as bad as we thought it was going to be, because we were able to connect with my boss, and she's helped us get connected to other people that have helped us through the process and helped show us all the different steps that we need to take and help us get settled. That would be a really good thing for someone who's moving to Germany to do, is to find other people online or in your community or through your employer that have done the same thing that you're doing to help walk you through the process, make it not seem as daunting as well.
Definitely. So we really hope this video kind of helped clear up that initial stage of moving to Germany and trying to get set up here. And we hope that we broke it down into some fairly simple steps, but really I think the goal of this video is just to give someone the confidence out there that hasn't done it to know that they can do it. And it just sometimes just takes a big leap of faith of getting out there and just going for it. And then you will find people along the way that will help you get through it. And then you will get through it. And it's an amazing, amazing experience. We've really enjoyed things so far. Like in our last video, you saw us take a really cool day trip to a historic Roman ancient city. And we have a lot more of those kind of day trips planned out already. And so we really want that for other people as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please definitely hit that like button and also subscribe so you can keep up with more of our adventures. Reach out to us, let us know in the videos if you have any other things you want to see in expat life videos of what life is like in Germany and stuff. And we would love to film more videos. We have more things planned for that. And so we'll see you in some of our other future videos.
Bye.